Well, I thought the story of the game was, I felt like that we didn't put two halves together. I thought the first half we played well, defended them well. I thought our game plan was good. We kept those guys under check. I think in the second half they got loose and they did what good players do, and they shot the ball. And the thing I was disappointed with is that I felt like we ducked our heads when things didn't go right for us. And they created about a 4 or 5 point spread there. We ducked our heads, and I told our team after the game that in the game of basketball on the floor, a quiet guy is a scared guy, and I don't mean that. I mean that with the day before practice, you can't even get a word in because of all the verbal cues, whether it be close out, deny, help side, great play, whatever. I mean, you're just so enthusiastic into it, and you can't be up and down. You can't be when things are going good. We had every break on Wednesday night, and tonight we had to make our own breaks, and we just didn't get that done, and that's the thing that was disappointing to me. I felt like for the first time this year, I felt like we ducked our head, and I think it goes back to being at home. We felt like things have been coming pretty easy for us at home. We've been able to win and protect our home floor, and then somebody hits us in the nose in the second half, and we didn't respond good enough for me. And so that's why after church tomorrow we'll go right back to practice and see if we can't get this bad taste out of our mouth. But I will say that I thought Nino Johnson was good. I thought he was a man tonight. I thought he played well. He was all over the floor. He played 28 minutes. He had 13 points, 7 rebounds, and it looked like to me he had more than one block. But he certainly altered a lot of shots, and I thought he played well. I thought Isaiah Jones had another good game. I thought he did some good things defensively. But again, as a team, this was a team loss, and there's no one person, and certainly starts with me. But very disappointing because we had a good crowd, and certainly it's a good series, and obviously you can look at that any way you want to. They beat it at a half-court shot last year, and then they turn around and beat us again. But we're not afraid of this series at all. We'd like to continue it, and if we can, that'd be good. But we got to get some other guys back in there and get some confidence going. I think Jamal Calvin, Marcus Wallace, T.J. Thomas, those guys can help us. And I've gotten away from them a little bit. I think we've got to get them back in there and get their heads up, the confidence, because they give us those young legs, and I think they can give us more than what they're giving us right now.
You go into halftime with that 4-point lead. What did you tell your players at that?
I felt like we were good. I felt like that we were in control of the game. I thought the pace was in our favor. We were able to keep those guys under check. I thought we were fine. They started hitting shots. That made a difference. And then, big guys sit out there with the shot clock going down there at the end with 3 minutes to go, and he hits one off the backboard. Things are just kind of went in their favor. And that was the separation of the game. You look at their three-point shooting, 6 out of 7, and then we couldn't buy one. And that's kind of been the story of our team a little bit. We've had a hard time. It's almost like a lid's been on that basket. We've had a hard time shooting the ball as good as we want to. We're very inconsistent with that. I thought the first few possessions, again, too many threes, bailing them out. We're settling for something less. We've got to penetrate and get to the line. And although we're not good free throw shooters, but still, it doesn't matter. You got to get to the line and put some pressure on them defensively. I thought the first half we were okay. It's the second half. There for about 10 minutes, they absolutely controlled the game, and we had no answer. Everything we did defensively, we were a half a step behind, and man, Reuter can shoot the basketball. And Marshall, 60% from the three for the year. And there's a reason why they're picked third in their league. I mean, they're going to be good. They're solid. Hey, by no means this game doesn't make or break us. We're going to move forward. We got monsters coming up. We got Arkansas and Ole Miss coming up, and again, we're getting ready for conference play. I've been very pleased and very proud of our team. We just need to correct some things and get back out on that practice floor and get with it.
You mentioned, settling for threes on offense. What did their defense do? I know they switched to zone a little bit. Do you think that bothered you guys?
I thought another thing that bothered me a little bit, and it goes back to the point guard responsibilities. You've got to be able to recognize exactly what you're in. If they're in a 2-3 zone, you're prepared for that. If they're in a 1-3-1, you're ready for that. If they're in a man-to-man, you're ready for that. But they mixed their offenses up, and my point guard and our team, we didn't recognize that, and so now you're hollering instructions, and before you can even get the instructions to the necessary person, we throw it away. But I think above everything else, even with all that being said, we'll get better. I mean, that's going to be experience for us. We're going to get better at that. But I think the biggest difference, other than the shooting, was the 15 turnovers. Out of those 15 turnovers, 10 of those were probably unforced. Stepping out of bounds. Bad pass here. Bad pass there. 3 maybe in the first half, 4 or 5 in the second half. You got 8, 9, 10 turnovers out of 15 that were bad, unforced turnovers. And that's where you got to protect that basketball. We got to get a lot better. Again, things go our way on Wednesday, they don't. That's the story of basketball, the highs and lows, and keep an even keel. We got a good team. We got a good team. Our defense is much better. We've got some pieces. Our guys want to win. You've got a hurt locker room in there. I promise you we'll bounce back. This is a tough time of year, and I'm certainly not making excuses because that was a very winnable game. We think we're just as good, if not better, than they are, but we didn't prove it. But it's a tough time. You got finals and all that stuff, you know. And hey, but you know, you get in Division I basketball and you understand that, and it's part of it. And so we'll get back out there tomorrow. We'll get after it.